Okay, so we're here with Ronnie, and your film was for Lonely Nights. What made you come up with the concept for that film?
The concept was inspired by this very niche subsection of YouTube that are comfort audios. And it's voice actors who will record monologues pretending to be a significant other in order to help calm or ease or aid in sleep. And they're something that I personally have been listening to since middle school or high school. And before conceptualizing the film, I became friends with somebody who makes them. And he was telling me about how the relationship that listeners will create in their minds with these voice actors can sometimes become toxic. And I wanted to show the positivity that these types of audios can bring to people, and how some of these voice actors can help people, like me, struggling with mental illness or going through a really hard time, or even to just help fall asleep.
And what about your actors? How did you go about the acting process there to get your actors, the casting?
I do most of my casting through Actors Access, um, which is it's just where a lot of people are, and so I've been using that for a couple of years up until that point. So I posted a casting call. I got Sophie Lockman, who looked exactly who I had envisioned. And she was perfect. As soon as I saw, her self-tape, I was like, yes, I have to have her. She's absolutely perfect for the lead part. And I had originally cast someone else as the significant other. And we had gone through the audition process, callbacks, rehearsals, and then 2 weeks before we were set to shoot, they called me and they were like, hey, I am packing up everything I own and moving to India, so I can't do your film.
Wow.
And so, yeah, so I had 2 weeks to come up with somebody else. I searched through all of my contacts and I ended up coming across Jack Flawless, who ended up playing the significant other. And his self-tape was amazing. And I reached out and I was like, I know it's 2 weeks away. Please, can you do it? Like, you're so talented. I'd love to be able to work with you. And he was like, yes, absolutely. And then I ended up, after he said yes, I went through his Instagram just to see what other stuff he'd been in, see if we had any contacts, connections. And I found out that I used to live in New Jersey. He went to NYU. Yeah. There was this theater in New Jersey that did productions every single year that I was very involved in. And I found out that 7 or 8 years ago, we were in the same production of West Side Story together. Wow. And didn't even know. And now I had cast him in a film and had no idea that we had actually worked together before.
Wow. It's a small world. I always say that the film industry, that you think it's so big, but
really.
It's small. There's a lot of connections.
It really is. And then, yeah. Oh, and the amount of ways that lives can interchange is insane.
Yeah. So
yeah,
you're
and
fully
then
out
the voice.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're fully out there in LA now? Just Los Angeles?
Yeah, I'm going into my last year of school in Orange. And
already,
then
wow. The time flies.
Moving to LA yeah, I know, crazy. Literally insane.
I was just out there for Dances with Films. I was out there for a little bit in June. So it was really cool at the Chinese theater and all that. So
yeah.
It was a cool time. Yeah. So how was the transition for you when you went from East Coast to West Coast?
It was definitely different. The film industry is just so rich here. Everywhere you go, somebody's trying to make it big as an actor, a writer, a producer, a director, which is really great because there's so many people you can meet that you can learn from.
Yeah.
I ended up meeting a friend. I was part of a fantastic program over the summer where I had the opportunity to go to the Cannes Film Festival in France, and I ended up meeting a producer who then introduced me to an actor who are both out here in LA, and we've been connecting, and one of them has been just such an amazing resource and like the connections you get in LA and in this crazy place of just rich film industry energy is amazing.
Every time I go out there, I run into a guy from Jersey. So I was at this festival with hundreds and hundreds of people, and I ran into a guy that I know that would come to festivals all the time here in New Jersey. And
Yep.
it was random.
It's crazy.
So when you wrote this, I know it's a lot of script there. So when you came up with the concept, how was it writing the script for it?
I did a first draft of the script, and it was a brain dump. I'd sort of been talking to my friend who helped inspire the film, who also ended up being the voice actor for the part of the significant other, who we had dubbed Jeff, which was crazy and complicated but super fun. And I was talking to him, and we would just be on, voice calls for hours, being like, okay, if this was a situation, what would a voice actor say, or what would one of these comfort audios say? And we wrote Jeff's part as if it were a monologue, because that's how these audios are. And not to spoil too much if you haven't seen it, but we wrote the part to be a monologue, because that's, the audios are a person talking to a mic, saying some things, leaving some space as if the person listening is actually there. And then we inserted Sophie's character's dialogue in between it to kind of form a scene around this monologue. So it was a little complicated, but when you watch the film and you see the ending, it all kind of makes sense. And then I'm as much as I am a writer director, I'm more a director, and so I did need some help with the script. So we brought in a really fantastic writer to kind of help tie everything together and make my jumbled mess of ideas a cohesive story.
Now, is this also used for college too, or is this your just regular project that you wanted to do, or or is it a college project?
This was an independent film. It was pretty fast turnaround. We conceptualized it sort of early February, March-ish, and then we filmed it for one night, 12-hour shoot overnight. Wow. At the beginning of June, and then it was released the end of August.
Wow.
So fast turnaround, everyone hustled, but it was amazing. It was really a passion project.
How do you get your equipment? Are you able to use it, college equipment? Because, it's different colleges are around here are all different. Or did you get your equipment or have your own equipment?
Our fantastic DP, Zaid, had a lot of equipment. He's amazing and talented and has been working in the film industry for forever. And he's like my age, which is crazy. But he had a lot of equipment, and then we were able to rent a lot of equipment because of the incredible fans and support of Eros, who is the voice actor. We were able to get an amazing budget that I wouldn't have even dreamed of because of all of their love and support. And so we rented, Arri Alexa minis and great lighting and all this cool equipment. I know nothing about equipment. Zaid knows all that stuff. He was fantastic. It was amazing.
Well, that's what, filmmaking is really like. We do a lot of things by one or two people in the crew, but it's really a whole crew. When you're making a whole film, there's so many people involved, and it's great to have a whole team of people, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
So are you working on your thesis then, the thesis film, or is that a thing?
Yes, I am. We've been in pre-production for probably about a month now, and we're scheduled to film the last weekend of October, the 1st of November. So it's coming up. And we're hoping to build a set, which is crazy. I've never done that before. We have an amazing production designer. And we're building a potion shop. Wow. Because it's a Greek myth-inspired tale of caution about a young girl who's a witch's apprentice and works at a potion shop, and absolutely in love with a guy who has a girlfriend. And when she finds a love potion, she just gets greedy for affection until it turns into more of a curse. And she has to find a cure before it's too late. So
Wow.
it's kind of the elevator pitch, but it's super fun and just a great genre mesh of
Mhm.
emotions. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
How long do you have to have that done by the end of next year? So you film it and then the editing processes, it takes a while.
I think we have until winter. I think we have like 3 months to edit it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not bad. I'll take it.
And then are you done after that? Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Like, then it's just a matter of getting all the credits, and I'm probably gonna be working on a bunch of independent films and then getting a job.
Wow.
Gosh, crazy how time flies.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're excited to see another film of yours again at the Bright Side, and so it'll be a fun day there. It's really cool watching the college films this time around. Like sometimes they're okay, but this time they're so top notch that it's like, wow, like we got a good future in film for us, like actors, filmmakers, or people like the young youth in college right now. It's a good sign, because a lot of those films are better than the ones that we're playing on the next day. It's a good 2 sets of college films, and they're all solid.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for showing my film and for giving it this opportunity to be viewed and enjoyed by people. It's such a pleasure.
Is it going in any other film festivals, or has been? Have you got to see it in the big screen?
Yeah, it's done very well in the film festival circuit for this year. Unfortunately, like literally every time it's been screened, I've been on the opposite coast. So I haven't been able to see it screened yet on a big screen, but I was very thankful that when I was in Cannes, there was a student showcase that it was able to be screened at. So that was really amazing. Yeah. So I'm very, very honored to have it screened there and to be able to witness that and to see everyone's reactions to something that I put so much love and heart into.
Well, there's a lot of LA film festivals too, right? A lot of places you could even screen the film as well.
Oh yeah.
So that'd be cool. Like, did you get to watch it at all with like your cast and crew? Did you guys screen it?
There was a little screening party that Jeff had hosted with some of his friends, and I couldn't go, unfortunately, but he told me that it was such a blast to be able to, watch something that he had worked on and a part that he cared about, and everyone's reactions to it. And so, I love my favorite moment about a film, at least the films I make, is the ending. And it's like an OMG moment. And I always try and integrate that into all of my films because it's so fun. And so seeing people's reactions to the end is like what keeps me going, what inspires me, like knowing people have invested so much, focus into the film to be able to be invested in the story, that when that moment happens, it actually affects them. And knowing that I've affected somebody who's watched my art, that is why I make films.
Yeah, that's a really good feeling, isn't it? Yeah. I like watching the crowd. There's a film that I made, I watch the crowd and see how they react. And every theater is a different different laugh here or there, or different reaction. It's pretty funny. And then sometimes, like if you're doing a comedy and you'll get a laugh, and you're like, I wonder why. And then the people come up and said, oh, it was so funny. So I'm like, why didn't anyone laugh? But I guess they just kept it in their own way. So it's weird. People's reactions and stuff. But it's really cool to see your, work up on the big screen and just watch the people's reactions.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you working on anything else other than that, your last film there for college, or are you doing any other things? Cause other projects?
That project has taken up a lot of my energy.
Mm.
I do have a couple other ideas that have been kind of swimming around that maybe once I'm kind of wrapped with this, my thesis film has cooled down a little bit, I'll be able to start actually writing the films. I have a couple ideas for features that'll be super cool. The reason I'm in LA now is I have an internship. So when I'm not working on my thesis, I'm working at the internship, and so my time has been pretty busy, but I love it.
That's great. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been out there in a long time, and I got the chance to go out there just for about 4 or 5 days by myself. And I'm like, I'm doing things that I want to do because I was by myself. Usually go out there with people and they're like, no, we want to do this and that. So it was really cool to kind of experience LA and just go from one place to the next to the next. I haven't done that in a long time, but it was really cool to do that. And just to see my students film on the big screen in the Chinese theater was just like mind blowing to me. That's why I do what I do.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's a cool fest. If you ever go to Dances with Films, even just to go there. It's a really cool experience, and you never know who you run into in that place.
Yeah, definitely check it out. Thank you.
Yeah, but it's cool. But anyway, yeah, thanks for joining me for a few minutes here. Did you want to add anything else about your film or anything?
Just that, it's a film about comfort, and it's a film about being able to acknowledge your emotions. And, the message that I really hope people take from it is that it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to ask for help. And, if you want to follow my journey, you can check me out on Instagram, the Veronica Tulo. And just keep making films, keep enjoying films. That's what this world's about.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
It's been a long time. It was like 4 years ago, I think, the last time you did it.
Crazy.
You were able to go, right? Before you were going.
Yeah,
going to college.
The Hidden. Oh my gosh!
I think like Larry's Fest and T-Neck, I think, was like, and you said,
yeah.
I'm going up to California.
That was the first film I ever made. It was awful, but I learned so much from it.
Yeah.
And it's just being able to see it at a festival was just such a drive. Yeah, people are enjoying this. I want to do this more. I want people to enjoy my stuff.
Yeah. It's a good feeling.
It really is.
Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. This has been so fun.
Mm-hmm. We're here at Erica, and you did the film Grace and Chloe. What made you come up with the concept of this one?
So this project was kind of a long time in the works. I started back in, I think, 2020 during COVID, when I was just writing and had nothing to actually do and make.
Yeah.
And I reached out to this other local filmmaker named Joey. I had seen her work on another short because we both worked with the same actor, Ian Brownhill, recently, and he is actually in this film, Grace and Chloe, which is super exciting. But Joey had this idea that she wanted to work with, of kind of working with the concept of guilt and making a decision that isn't necessarily like black and white. It isn't necessarily right or wrong, and it's kind of stuck in that gray area, and how to deal with the guilt and the pressure of that. So that was kind of the starting point for this film.
And how long did it take to film?
How long did it take to film? I think it was 3 days. 3 days.
Were they all nights or not all nights, or because
no? Yeah, so most of the film is actually it takes place at night, but we did a lot of work during the day as well. Yeah. With blacking out windows and lighting tricks and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, that's good. How did you go about with the casting process?
So a lot of it was done on Backstage. That's my favorite casting website. And then other actors, I just I found the 2 leads because I had seen some of their work, and I had reached out to them years ago, back in, again, I think 2020, about working with them at some point, and we never got around to it. No. And then this project came around, and I reached back out to them, and they were interested. So they got the part.
Well,
So kind of a mix between casting sites and just people I've been really, really wanting to work with for a while.
and so you have a whole team of people, or like you're kind of doing most of it yourself, or how you go about it?
No. This one took
Bigger production, right?
a big team. The
Yeah.
biggest team I think I've worked with so far.
Uh-huh.
So I was the director,
Mhm.
but I think the absolute biggest help I had on set was my director of photography, George. He was amazing and he wore many, many hats. So he was the director of photography. He helped out with lighting. He edited the film. He was just incredible and had such great morale on set. He was just amazing.
Was that first time you worked with him?
Hmm?
Was it the first time you worked with him, or you worked
Yeah,
with
it was the first time we had worked together. Yeah. So I was like over the moon impressed by him. He was absolutely amazing. But besides George, the entire team was amazing. We ran into a lot of technical issues on our first day of the shoot, which was tough. But the entire cast and the entire crew, they kept their energy up. We stuck through it. We finished the film, and we're all super proud of it. So the entire cast, the entire crew is amazing.
Yeah. So, did you have you been writing other stuff? During the pandemic, you probably wrote a lot, right?
Yeah. Yes, I did. So since the pandemic, I've done, I think, 2 shorts that were both screened at Brightside a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
Very exciting. Yep. And then this project, and then I've been working on a long-term project. It's a feature film that I've kind of been writing for 3 years now. We're currently working on draft number 13. With that project, I'm very, very anxious because it's my first feature and I want to make it right and do it right. So I'm putting a lot of time into it, and it's kind of just been 3 years. So we're still writing that and getting feedback, pitching it around, and it'll
These
come
are
to the
tough,
screen
yeah.
someday, but not today. And I've also gotten into writing some music as well.
Oh.
So yeah, that's what I've been working on writing.
What about music videos?
Yeah, I love. I actually met this amazing musician about a year and a half ago. Her name is June, and she's just an amazing singer-songwriter. And I've directed 2 of her music videos, and she's kind of the one who got me into songwriting. So we've co-written a couple of songs. She's written songs for my film.
Yeah.
2 of her songs are actually in this film.
Oh, it is? Oh, wow.
She wrote the song 20, and she wrote the song Someone You Love, Someone You Hate, which is in the end credits. So both of those are her work. She's incredible.
That's something that we should do in the future. I was looking at doing a category for score and for
yeah.
So.
But yeah, she got me into music, and now I'm trying my hand at writing myself. So yeah, she's definitely helping, coaching, but
Wow.
I'm giving it a shot.
So you were you in school for film, or are you in school for film, or?
I am in school for economics.
Oh.
Yeah, I take some film classes, but economics is unfortunately my my major. But yeah.
Yeah, well, that happens quite a bit. I didn't major in film either, so
Absolutely.
but
Yeah.
doing a different job, so it never ends. It's a fun industry, though. It's a lot of fun. It never ends. There's always something going on. Never stops. So, are you almost done with school? Where are you at now?
Yes, I've recently been having an existential crisis because I'm going into my last year of college, and I have no idea what I want to do with my life after. So
I still don't know what I want to do. So I don't know. No.
Yeah, so that's what's going on school-wise. But.
Yeah. Wow. That's good. Yeah. So yeah. I was in education. I'm in education. I teach film.
Oh wow.
So so I'm a teacher, but do film on the side. No, I've been doing it my whole life, so
Mhm.
it's doing both. So
Yeah.
I was told at a young age, just learn everything, do everything. So
Absolutely.
do everything. Yeah, so it's exciting to have your film back in the festival again. So
Mhm.
good to see that. Now
Yeah.
you're up in like the Boston area.
Yes, I am.
I was just in Boston. I just went to
Oh,
Fenway for
really?
the first time. Yeah,
That's awesome. What did you think?
I loved Fenway. It was good. It was really a lot of
Mhm.
fun. A lot of fun. I've been up to Boston before. It's actually a film festival that I go up there for young students that in film. They had films in my festival in the past, in Brightside and a few other ones, and then they started their own film festival up in the Boston area.
Is this the Open Gate Film
Open
Festival?
Gate, yeah.
Okay, I know exactly. And Haley Pine, right?
Yes.
Okay. I
Yeah.
know her because when we were both in high school, I think we were literally 14 years old. We met on the set of this other student's like horror web series thing.
Oh,
And I think we still follow each other on Instagram, and I've kind of just been following her work and what she's been doing.
yeah.
And I think around the same time, I actually started a film festival too. And
Oh, wow.
December 2021, I started a film festival. It's in Vermont,
Oh, wow.
not in Mass. But I'm like, oh my God, she's doing the same thing. So it's been super cool to kind of watch her and her work and her career develop in a both of us kind of going in similar ways. Except I don't think we've talked recently at all. I've just been following her and kind of.
Well, we
saying,
both had a lot of films in my festivals too.
yeah. Does she have anything this season?
Not this time around, but I think and the next one they got some stuff that they created that had a little piece in as well. So it looks good. So that hopefully they're going to play other festivals and then come around to the bright side towards the end. So we'll see.
That's
I'm pretty
awesome.
sure she was involved with that. There's like a whole crew of people now. It's like it keeps growing and growing, but that's the business, right? But that's the cool thing about the bright side is people will meet and then end up working together. And it happened this time around. A lot of people are coming back. They met at the bright side. They filmed something together, and they're bringing it back together as a group. So that's happening this time around.
That's awesome.
It's a really cool feeling when that happens.
Yeah.
And from people from all over, and they just like get together and start doing it and just like form a crew. It's awesome. So that's why we keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, I love the festival. I know I'm still in touch with, I think, 4 of the filmmakers I met there the one time I was there 2 years ago. So yeah, it's definitely a great environment to meet people and make new connections.
Absolutely. So how is doing your own festival?
It's a lot, but it's super fun. I've been learning a lot too. Like getting to watch so many films of different genres, different lengths, different people from different like experience levels and stuff. And we take submissions from literally all around the world. It's an international festival, so we get films with like in different languages with English subtitles and stuff. So it's just been so cool to see films about like different cultures, different lifestyles. So it's been really, really cool to see that. And I've actually made some connections through there as well. Like after the festival, sometimes I'll reach out to people and I'll be like, hey, like, want to work together on something? I really loved your film. So it's also been a great way to meet people, make connections. And I just love watching film.
Yeah, me too.
I just genuinely enjoy that so much. So yeah, it's to spend my time.
I had to stop. I was running a lot of festivals. I had to stop and leave some of them, but I still like help out a lot and to watch films and things. So
yeah.
I enjoy doing that. So whenever I have time, I'll sit down and watch a bunch and like, I want to do something like that. But that's how I met. I did a film where I acted in. It's my best acting I did. It was a comedy. And I was hosting a festival. I was hosting one, and a filmmaker came up to me after. He's like, "I want to cast you in my film," and then that became my best role. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So, and that's what like everyone knows me for. It's like this Death and Disco Fry. So everyone's like, "Hey, Disco Fry." But it went to every festival all over the place. So got my face and name out there. And just for hosting, just for hosting an event. So you never know. You never know. But yeah. So so this film that you got now, is it playing at other festivals?
Yes, but this is the first one. So Brightside is like early August, and then it's going to more festivals throughout later August, September, October, November, December.
Oh wow! So it's the first run. We got
Brightside's the first one.
nice. That's always a good feeling. Yeah. But it's cool also to see your progression too from your first film that you submitted all the way.
Yeah.
So no, it's a good feeling, and to watch your film in a crowd of people is awesome as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so this summer are you doing any acting at all? Do you act?
Yes, I do. So this summer has been absolutely crazy because I was studying abroad in Madrid until from January to May, and then I was like, okay, well, like I'm in Europe and I've been saving up money for literal years, so I'm gonna backpack Europe for 2 months.
Wow.
So I just got home a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
And then I was hosting my festival, and then I was celebrating my 21st birthday, which is kind of crazy.
Wow.
And then we just had the cast and crew premiere of Grace and Chloe 2 nights ago. So I haven't had much time to really do anything other than that since I got home. But next weekend, I'm going to be on a music video shoot for my song, actually, which I'm super excited about. So I'll be acting in that. And then hopefully driving to Brightside right after I get off set. And then I have a couple of projects lined up for the fall. But as far as this summer goes, I was mostly not in the country.
That's great, though. That's a good experience.
Absolutely.
So you're Madrid. Where else did you go?
Everywhere.
Everywhere?
I went all over Spain.
Mm-hmm.
I am a huge money saver. Like I save my money for film projects and for travel. So I literally made my schedule. So I had 4-day weekends every weekend, no classes Monday, no classes Friday. So every weekend I would go to a different city in Spain.
Wow.
So I went literally all over. And then I did a weekend in Belgium, a weekend in Portugal. I did my spring break in Morocco, which was amazing. I think that's my favorite place I've ever been. And then for the 2 months after my semester, I went to Slovenia, Croatia, Greece, Italy, France, Ireland, and then like 3 days in London.
Wow.
So I was like everywhere. It was the most incredible experience of my entire life, hands down.
Wow. Did you document it? A lot of photos, videos,
Absolutely.
photos.
Yep. All of the above.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I love that's why I teach, because I love my summers and I travel. So I say I bank my money all year, and I'll sprinkle some trips in there. But like in the summer, my students had a film in LA. So I went to LA, which was amazing. Just to go out there and visit. It's really cool. Yeah. If you've ever been, I just for a few days, and it's a really cool experience. And then I was in Phoenix, Arizona for the first time. Never been. It's hot. Yeah. It's hot.
Imagine.
It was 115 degrees, and they said dry heat, whatever. It's hot.
It's hot.
And I like hot, but it was hot. But and then I was up in Boston.
Really hot.
It was too hot for like 4 days of that. Oh my God, it was crazy. But then I did Boston. I'm going to Louisiana, so
gosh, you're all over.
So I save it and they're like quick trips, like 3-4 days. So I save my money for that because I want to see everything and do everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't spend that much money. I find the cheapest deals, this, that, and go. But a lot of times too, to go to film festivals in different states, just to experience it.
Yeah.
So it's always cool to like pick one or two that because I was in LA, I was at Dances with Films, so I got to experience that.
Oh, I really want to go to Dances with Films.
It was amazing. It was amazing. I've been to festivals all over the place, and that's my favorite right now.
Oh, wow.
They do a New York one. They just opened up a New York one.
What's it called?
It's Dances with Films. So you go in Dances with Films.
Okay.
It's a lot shorter though, so they're not going to take as much. Because I asked them. I said, "Oh, I thought you were going to do a student film section because they usually have it out in LA. They have a high school student film section." But they said, "Oh no, it's just a couple of days, but just put it in and say high school alumni, all that stuff." And I'm like, "You guys are right here in New York now. I want to go."
Oh, awesome. I'll
But
definitely have to take a look at that then. Oh my
great,
god.
great people, but the experience out there, it's a 10-day fest out there. I went to like 4 days and I had a great time. I'm like, there's no way I could last 10 days, but
That's a long time.
very good experience. And then, I mean,
Yeah.
they show you like, this is how it's done. They do everything out there. It's amazing. I'm like, I just do little festivals.
Yeah. Yep.
It was really cool. But Vermont sounds cool. So are you not too far?
So we're like 4 hours away from Vermont, but the thing is, I'm on a budget.
Yeah.
And they have this amazing venue. And it's this gorgeous lobby with like these huge windows overlooking the mountains and a literal, I think, 200-seat film theater.
Wow.
And I'm like, and that was one of the best deals that I got. Like it was cheaper than anything I found in the Boston area. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, at that point to get a venue like that and to it's worth the 4-hour drive to Vermont, hands down. So.
I've never been to, well, yeah, I went once to Vermont, but I was going to go up there on a trip one of these days. So,
Vermont is beautiful.
yeah, I didn't go during ski season. I went like during like a lake and all that. It was nice. It was for a wedding, but I want to go back up there. They got a lot of cool breweries up in that area.
Oh, you do?
Do one of those trips.
Yeah.
But absolutely. Well, is there anything else you want to add about your film?
Ooh.
That we missed, maybe?
Sorry, I'm thinking. Not that I can think of, unless you have other questions for me.
What about, well, your cast, the two girls? You said that you've seen them in other stuff and everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they did a good job.
Yeah, they're amazing. So talented. Yeah.
How was it filming party scenes?
Oh, that was a mess. But a fun mess. We had a lot of fun with lighting in the like dark apartment basement scene. Loved. My favorite shot in the entire film, I think, is when Hadley, who plays Grace, is kind of just standing in the corner, kind of like watching, dancing with herself a little bit, and she's like lit with this like gorgeous blue. It's just beautiful. I love blue. Not that I'm biased at all, but I think that's one of my favorite shots from the whole thing. And it was chaotic because we had I think like 20 to 30 background actors on set.
Wow.
Per day, because the entire film was basically a party.
Yeah.
So it's hard to block everyone and keep track of everyone.
Yeah.
I have done this a lot. I usually have like one party scene or one big scene with like a lot of background actors in them. So I'm kind of getting used to how to navigate that more. And the background actors on this set specifically were so professional and well prepared, and yeah, so it just felt easy compared to other big scenes that I've done in the past. But obviously still a challenge trying to work with a big amount of people at the same time. But
yeah, that's a lot of people. I didn't realize there was so many.
Yeah, it's a lot. The basement that we shot in is surprisingly big. So we were trying to make it look like as small as possible, but it was hard because it's deceptively big.
Did you, was there a lot more footage that you cut out? Or was it pretty much?
No, this was pretty much it. Yeah, I think we kind of. Oh, there is one scene that we ended up cutting. It wasn't in the script to begin with, but it was our last day on set, our last scene on set, and we were all a little bit delirious at that point because, like I said, we had so many tech issues, and we had been up till like 5 a.m. the night before. It was just not good. So we were ready for it to be done. But there's a scene where Grace and Chloe are at a party, and Chloe is playing Pong with a bunch of their friends, and Grace is getting uncomfortable. I don't want to spoil too much, but like Chloe has a kind of toxic relationship with drinking and alcohol and in general. So Grace is getting very uncomfortable, and she kind of leaves the Pong table to go sit and just like chill out for a minute. and she starts fiddling with this little sheep figurine. So one of the last shots that we did on set, we were just like, Hadley, what if we just took this idea of playing with the sheep figurine and ran with it? So she like, we have, I think, a 5-minute shot of Hadley just playing with this sheep. She starts like kicking it every time Chloe takes a shot. She like kicks the sheep. The sheep starts to like fly. She was like making it dive into the beer bottle. She went crazy with the sheep. So we have like a 5-minute clip of that. That did not make it into the film. But the sheep made it in for a split second. So yeah, we were watching it the other night, and there was just like an intense moment of silence right before the camera pans down to the sheep, and Hadley looks at me, she's like, "Did it make it in?" And then we all start cracking up when we see the sheep. It was great. But that was the only thing that was cut from the film. Long story short.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Well, that sounds great. We're excited to show the film, and
Yeah,
thanks for joining me for a few minutes today.
of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'll just start with we're here with cast and crew of On Site. So, Mitch, why don't we start with you? What made you come up with a concept for the film?
Oh, that was not me. So Alan and I were brought on to direct and help produce this one with Ashley. The concept was actually Eric Feltus's concept. He is a real life, or was a real life property manager at the time, and so the concept was fully based on his experience in that crazy world. So we got to have a little sneak peek inside of, I think, some heightened characters, maybe not based on real people, but definitely heightened situations. And yeah, I mean, you know, Eric is already a very energetic guy. So,
No.
Yeah, a little bit. So, you know, it was like, you know, him turned up to 11 on this one, I think, to really sell it. But yeah, so it was definitely his brainchild.
And Ashley, what was your role?
Yeah, so like you said, I was brought on to help produce, and then I play Annie, who is one of his tenants that he likes to randomly show up and kind of invade her and her husband's life and every tenant in the building's life. And I was drawn to it because it was, I mean, Eric is a person, you know, he's got a lot of energy, so I knew he was going to bring a lot to this role, and it reminded me a bit of, you know, kind of that The Office kind of vibe where it's just this character who's a bit unaware and, you know, I don't know, the idea of just working with a Michael Scott kind of character just seemed like so much fun, and it was a blast.
And Alan, what about you?
So I originally actually met Eric in an acting class, and he was a property manager at the time, and he my God, some of the stories he had, there was one where he might be willing to tell you later, but he ended up accidentally like leaving a car in reverse, and it like backed into the gate and broke one of the gates, and I just remember him like flipping out, and understandably, like he was just like full of anxiety, and you're watching that and just kind of how he's reacting. He's like, and you see this pilot, you're like, oh yeah, no, this is a heightened version of you, definitely. But Mitch and I, we worked on this couple episodes of this mockumentary called Nosferatu between 2009 and 2012, and I remember Ashley, we've worked with her because she's brilliant. She's a brilliant actor. If you ever get yeah, well, it's true. But she, I remember, knew Eric, and he was looking for someone to direct this. And I remember like she approached us just saying, "Hey, we think you guys would actually be perfect for this." And it just kind of felt like it all came together like on purpose. You know, it was really cool.
Do you guys usually just do comedies, or are all over the map, or what's the focus?
We're kind of all over it. We've done a bunch of comedies, but we've written dramedy feature. Mitch just actually did a French New Wave film he directed that Ashley was starring in. It's pretty brilliant. We've done horror. We've done a bunch. We've kind of run the gamut. Wouldn't you say, Mitch? Yeah.
I mean, like together we've done predominantly comedy, but we have branched out into like Alan said, drama, horror, French New Wave. I mean, yeah, I've done like drama and sort of thriller, sci-fi vibes as well. Like, yeah, I think we gravitate towards comedy because it's fun. But
Yeah.
we certainly we don't shy away from the other stuff because the stories and the characters are so meaty. You have to say yes to them.
Oh yeah. Was this the film that played at Dances? Was this the particular one, or you had something else there?
We had something else at Dances. That was another pilot called Remixed. So different team, different project. Yeah, so we're excited that this one is starting to make its rounds as well. This is its East Coast premiere, I believe.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So
can't go wrong with a bar with a bunch of people drinking all day.
No, I feel like this
Amen.
is definitely like like
Yes,
comedy wise, especially. Hopefully, it's the right.
If you've been drinking all day, On Site is for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we always seem to get like a good comedy block, so it's always a lot of fun to do that, especially in the bar surroundings and people from mostly a lot of the people from New York. It's right across the river from New York, so a lot of New York people come over and hang out for the whole day.
I love that.
And then we have a award show late at the end, and I remember there was a guy who said he had a film play at like 11 a.m. and then he sat at the bar all day, and the award show was like 7 at night, and then he got called for an award, and he was still sitting at the bar. Couldn't get up.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah. So, where did you film this?
Actually, on Eric, who's not doing property management anymore. This was actually one of the properties that he managed, so it was kind of perfect.
Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody.
Well, not like they could fire him. He's gone anyway. So.
Although we did cheat one of the scenes we shot at Ashley's apartment as well.
Don't tell Ashley's apartment people either.
Don't tell Ashley's apartment people.
Stealing locations.
Yeah.
Indie film, man. Indie film. It's but we got lucky with that with Eric's place for sure, and Ashley's place. But Eric, we had sort of the full run of the place, as long as we were like kind of quiet about it.
How is the pilot? So you work on other pilots as well. How is that when you film a pilot and then you got to shop it around? How's that process?
I can take it. You can take it. You can take it.
You take it away, Mitch.
I don't know where to take it. The process is it's funny because like I don't know if I'm speaking for everybody here, but the process for us as creatives, it's like we do this thing and we make this project and like we put everything we have into it, and then as soon as it's done, we want to try to push it forward, but we're also like, what's the next project?
Mm-hmm.
So like the trying to figure out how to get these things in front of the right eyeballs, is always a challenge. Trying to figure out the push. Do we try to find a manager for it, a lit agent? Do we try to find a production company that's going to help us push it forward? There's so many different ways to skin the cat, and I'm allergic to cats, so that's just it's difficult.
It's very difficult when you're allergic.
It's like my long answer is that I wish that I had a better answer. In terms of indie films, we do these things and we just hope that pushing it into film festivals and getting eyeballs on it and trying to get the word out that it exists, we hope that people will see it.
How do you go about the casting process for something like this?
Well, for something like this, we were lucky. Actually, everybody was a friend. We are lucky to be surrounded by amazing talent. Ashley, very much one of those folks that we're lucky to have
It's-
in our small circle here.
It's just always nice when you can come on a project and just immediately trust and know everybody's gonna just be a part of this really well-oiled but also really fun machine. So
Right.
Yeah.
How many?
Yeah,
how-
I mean, we had a. Sorry, that's my daughter shouting hi from the pool. They say hi, Ellie. So Alan and Eric and I were all in an acting class. I think you guys were in a class together, and then we all ended up in a class together, or vice versa. But so we drew on some of our friends. Amy was one of our, right? She was one of our classmates. And friends of friends, and it's just, yeah, it's so nice to be able to make a project in LA where you just instantly have a Rolodex of talented filmmakers and actors that you can, just plug into these roles that they'll just kill it. So that's really fun. And also, just to go back to what you had just said, Mitch, about like how you're in a project, and then once you finish, you're kind of like, as a creative, you're like, okay, what's next? And you're on to the next project. Something that's so fun about this, I mean, even this interview alone, just like reliving this time that we spent, making this project and had such a blast doing. Since then we've all done various projects, but I think we all hold this one so dear to our heart because it was such a just like a kind of a passion project that I think had a lot of soul and had a lot of potential. And then, pandemic hit and it just kind of sat on the shelf for a minute. So it's fun to see where it can go now. And I leave it to people like Mitch who know the route where to take it, because that's where I kind of fall short.
I just love how we're back to like screening again instead of watching things online.
Yes,
Nice.
thank God, yes.
That's why I haven't been out to LA since all that. So I was excited to go back. I want to go back again. I need an excuse to go back again.
well, come and say hi to us. That's enough an excuse.
Yeah.
Right there.
We'll give you one.
But a friend of mine was like, "Let's go back." I'm like, "Yeah, I want to," but I teach film in a high school, so before you know it, school starts.
Right.
So I'll have to
You got
make
a
some
couple
more.
weeks left, right?
Yeah, you got a few weeks.
Yeah.
I got a few weeks. I got a couple more.
September? Yeah.
Or
Couple more
make it a class field trip.
Yeah, that's what I want to plan. Yeah,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
make a film, go to a festival, plan out to go to LA. That's the goal.
If you want, you could
Yeah.
give your students a project, which is pitching this show for us. That would be.
Yeah.
I think
I
that's
like
a
that one. It's a good
fine
concept.
idea, Alan. Fine idea.
That would be interesting. Having like they watch the show and they have the videotape themselves pitching it.
It's brilliant.
That'd be awesome. That would be great.
I always got to
I'm
come up
into
with
it.
new ideas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you never know, but it's fun. But so you said this is the East Coast premiere, but you got to play it in LA a little bit, or West Coast, or other festivals.
Oh, we okay. Sorry, guys.
No,
go
go for it,
Mitch.
Mitch.
You're just-
Cordillera.
Yeah,
We're all gonna say the
So
same
we-
thing.
we-
Yeah.
I know. We just had our our world premiere at the Cordillera International Film Festival, which is in Reno.
Wow.
And that was just last week. And yeah, it was amazing to to be there in a packed theater and hear the audience reactions and just feel that energy. Like you were saying about like the pandemic and online viewings of things. It's like sitting in a room by yourself watching a screen is a much different experience than watching something on a big screen surrounded by people, feeling the energy and just being able to like really just like that's the medium that we all strive for, is that big screen with a huge audience and the energy of the crowd feeding off of each other. And it was really nice to hear all that and then to hear the feedback afterwards. So we're slowly making our rounds, or I guess quickly as it were.
Yeah. I think the only thing good that came out of the pandemic with us doing our festivals is like we interview people from all over online. That's
Ah,
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
it.
There's some good. There's some good.
yeah.
Yeah.
because like when I'm there, I mean, it's me and another guy running this festival, and it's nonstop. So I sit at the door, or I'm behind the projector, or hosting. So I don't really get to sit and talk to the directors. So I kind of take advantage of that doing this. Like I'll say hi, and then I'm like, oh wait, I see you like 8 hours later. Oh, hi again. So it's a good opportunity to get to talk to people.
Yeah, especially if like everyone's coming in and like everyone wants to talk to you. It's like there's one of you and there's dozens of them, and it's like it makes it hard to like have the time to connect. So I love this.
Yeah, it's not easy at all, but I've been doing this for a long time with podcasting and everything. So it's a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of people, interesting people. But then like I went to go visit LA to visit people that I've met, and like everyone's busy.
Yeah, that's LA for you.
We're filming. What do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah, come visit on set. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. So are you guys working on another project together right now, or soon, or?
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I think we all have kind of our individual things going on, and then Mitch and I have a project that Alan edited beautifully, and so that's going to be the next in our rounds. As far as I know, we all have scripts that are written that you guys would be my first thought, my first choice for crewing up. So as soon as I get my ish together on a script, I would love to start another one.
Well, you got Ellie to help you too, so that's.
I mean, yeah, I have a 3-year-old superstar already. She works for food, so and lollipop.
Yeah. No, yeah, like for me, like I mean, we all the three of us have worked together on and off for years, and you know, it's always amazing. You know, like Alan said, like to have the trust, you know, of just people walking on and just like, you know what to expect, you know that you can trust them, you know, you have to worry about it, you know, and you know that they're going to be amazing in whatever the role is that they're being handed. And yeah, like, I mean, Alan's also an amazing actor, you know, and so we try to put him in front of the camera as much as possible. And Ashley is, you know, one of our favorite actresses. Like, so we just like, we really try to like write things for each other and write, you know, try to make as much content as we can with each other. We have a horror comedy feature that we wrote that we'd love to have Ashley play with us in as well. So
I would love to.
Trying to figure all that out.
Yeah. What about you, Alan?
Yeah, I got a few things. I'm kind of smaller SAG compliant films I'm working on over the next couple of months, and then some more things. Mitch and I we're starting to start brainstorming and popping back on paper so we can grab Ashley again and get all the people we love together.
Is SAG approving some projects out there? Some indie film.
There are some indie, like I know all of like A24. I guess they've been compliant to what they're asking for, and then I got even the micro budget ones. I know that those are able to shoot as long as they follow the standards that SAG has. It's the big studio ones that we're having some issues with right now. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I was in New York. I was on the line in New York the other day. So
nice.
And the Naked Cowboy jumped in the middle in front of me. So I was like, I'm all over SAG pictures with me and the Naked Cowboy as I'm holding my sign.
You can't buy that kind of press. So
no, I'm all over. Like SAG Instagram, SAG, like everything SAG. You see me holding the sign, and right in front of me is the Naked Cowboy. All over.
Well placed.
Well played. Yeah.
It was so random. Everyone was laughing when he cut right in front of me, and we're just walking the line. I'm like, just go with it, you know. And the whole I didn't even.
Is that a thing? Is that like is that a famous guy that's in New York? And there's an oyster named after him. Yes.
The Naked Cowboy. Yeah.
Naked Cowboy oyster. I was just reading about him.
He's just in Times Square for like the last 25 years or so.
That's incredible. I gotta see this guy. Well,
It's amazing, and I believe he is SAG because he's been in a lot of stuff. So that was just funny
Amazing.
that he just comes on the line with his guitar, and the whole time I didn't even realize that Vincent D'Onofrio was also in front of me. The whole time I didn't realize till after. I'm like, oh my god, that was Vincent D'Onofrio sitting there with me. I'm like, oh,
oh, that's pretty cool.
you didn't realize that. It was random because you got a hat on, you got sunglasses on. I'm not paying attention. I'm like, holy crap,
Yeah.
So awesome.
that's New York for you. That's what
Well,
happens.
hopefully you were wearing a bright side tavern shirt also.
Oh, I wish, man. But the funny thing is, a lot of people that were on the line there actually came to my festival before, so I knew quite a bit of
Oh,
randomly.
nice.
A lot of the actors like, oh, I've been to your fest. So I guess
Nice.
it gets around, right? So
Yeah.
like the bar fest across the water, yeah, of course.
Sounds like the most fun fest.
It is. It's pretty. I mean, it's season 17. We've been doing it for twice a year, so we're in year 9 right now. So
Wow.
Wow.
Good for you.
Congrats.
That's so
That's
cool.
great.
just
Yeah, congrats.
can't stop doing it. And you never know who's going to show up. Like I remember like someone was like in the audience and they're like, is that guy in The Sopranos in the audience? I was like, yeah. Like, does he have a film? I'm like, no, he's just hanging out.
Amazing.
Just The Soprano hanging out. Like, is that a guy from Clerks? Yeah, that's a guy from Clerks. Is he at a film? No, he's just hanging. Happens all the time in Jersey. It's
So
all right.
awesome.
That's all you get. You get either Clerks or Soprano.
Not a bad,
Not a bad now.
bad cameo.
No.
Yeah.
That's funny though.
No.
But yeah, so it's great to have your film, and we're excited. It's going to be a really cool set. How long does it take to film? Did I say that? How long does it take to film? How many days would you be on set for like a film like this, and the length and everything?
It's just
Was this a day and a
day
half?
and a half.
That's it.
Yeah, I was
think it
gonna
was
say
a day and a half.
A day and a half. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
We
What,
knocked it
15-hour
out.
days.
Yeah, we
Well,
we
yeah.
moved quickly.
Yeah.
We
Wow.
actually our DP and our camera operator. We had 2 cameras, and they were both they were both from Parks and Rec, so they knew what they were doing in terms of like the mockumentary style and how to work with us to get it quickly.
It
Yeah,
was
we were very lucky with that crew. Like so lucky. Yeah. The 2 camera thing is clutch too.
Yeah.
it was I'll say this, like, just the speed we're going at it, and just seeing what we're doing, like a couple months later, I was like at a small part on Veep, and then when you watch what they're doing, you're like, oh, this is literally also what they're doing, except they just have a bigger budget and a few more cameras. So it's just kind of nice to know, like, all right, well, we're doing the right things. Like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's reassuring. Yeah, that's
yeah.
nice.
And how long does it take?
That's like, okay.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna
Go
say
ahead,
that's
man.
also a testament. Just talking back to like the like working together and having worked together for years. It's like
Yes.
we know we have a shorthand and we know just sort of how to communicate and just how to make it happen.
I
What
think
about the editing process? How long does that take?
this one was pretty quick. I think I usually we have a rough and had a rough in a week, and then we look it over, and then like a week later, it's pretty much done. I think that was this one.
Sounds
Yeah, it's
right.
pretty nice to have a director editor combo
Yeah.
anytime because you're directing with your editing brain in mind. Like I feel like you guys knew the shots, you knew the cuts, you knew what you wanted, and when we
Like-
got it, we knew we had it. And
Like I just know going in when you're filming, you just, as you're watching the coverage as you're filming it, there's like, okay, this is going here, this is okay.
Mhm.
All right, if this doesn't work, well, we got this. Okay, great. Yeah, it's nice to have that kind of mindset.
So you don't have too much left over or a lot of extra scenes because you kind of editing as you go.
we did have
Oh,
some improv that was
Oh.
really fun. I do want to mention that some of this was, we did everything on the page for sure, to make sure that the story structure was there and everything was there. But Mitch and Alan, like they're so great at kind of giving us little, guides of like, or little plugs. Okay, try this and, see where this goes. And I know, gosh, Annie and what's my husband's name in the show?
Chris.
Chris, thank you. I wanted to say Mark. I don't know why. Annie and Chris, yes. Like we had some scenes where we got to just kind of riff off one another, and it ultimately did make the cut. So there was plenty of footage that that you didn't need, but like some golden nuggets did make it in the final.
I should say, Mitch, I think you have the similar mindset. Just when we are watching that and you do see the improv, like you're almost laughing at all of it and you almost want to put all of it in, but yeah, it's just, no matter what, you have the coverage so you can take what you really think works and then, just like all the, oh God, we have so much stuff on the cutting room floor that was also great, so I can't even.
It's for episode 2.
Yeah, we'll make a second one, a
There you
second
go.
version, an alternate version.
Yeah. So when you're doing these kind of things, like and you said you're shopping it around, it is very difficult to sell it. Have you been able to do that before with like a pilot? Get it out there?
We've gotten close. On a couple, but no bites yet. No bites yet. We make a lot of content,
Yeah. Now it's really hard because of all the strikes going on, right? So do you have to put a backseat on it and just kind of go with the festivals for now, or are people actually
in terms of
looking
sales,
by?
I think we can have conversations. We just can't get into any real detail at this point. Like it's all just sort of like, like we liked your project. Like call us in 4 months when hopefully this is all handled.
Yeah, hope so.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good, but but yeah.
No,
absolutely.
Look, everyone deserves fair wages and everyone deserves, the right to work and be paid accordingly. So,
I feel real bad for the people that work on the sets. They don't have work either, really, well, unless you get some independent stuff. But it's a lot of people out of work.
Yeah.
So hopefully it gets resolved soon.
Yeah, we stand in solidarity with all of them. So
Absolutely. Yeah. Hopefully they do the right thing.
But we can still make some indie stuff, right?
That's right.
Still, that's right. That's right.
And definitely, I feel like everyone's hitting the keyboard right now, just trying to write. We're all just trying to kind of, I'm just trying to get scripts more. I have all these ideas and I have all these unfinished things that I'm just trying to tighten up at this point and use that time wisely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Smart. It's like now is the time to just like get things ready for when the floodgates open.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Can't wait.
We're doing okay.
Netflix is moving in right next door to where I live here.
Oh, you don't have to go far to strike then. That's perfect.
No, I could, they're building. They're only building, but yeah, I could go out there but they bought this huge area right outside my door, Fort Monmouth in Eatontown, New Jersey. So it was big news that they're coming in here, a big, huge studio that they're building. But maybe one day. I said I'm just going to keep knocking on their door when the things are done and just be like, I got an idea. Just keep throwing.
There you go.
That's right, Chris. You get them.
Yeah.
Get us. Get us all.
Yeah, absolutely. So, anything else you want to add about the film that we might have missed?
The only thing I'll say is, again, like it was a really fun project to shoot, and it's a really fun project to watch. Go see it.
Yeah, absolutely. So anything you guys are working on right now, if you want to go around, Mitch, you want to start anything you're working on right now, and maybe some like handles or wherever people can see any of your work or whatever.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm actually in pre-production right now on another short film that we're filming at the beginning of next month. It's called Watching Walter. It's based on the true story of a Holocaust survivor. So it's a drama. and we're our crowdfunding is live right now, and Stephen Tobolowsky will be in that as our lead. So we're excited to have him, excited to be working on that. It's under the SAG micro budget agreement, so we are clear to shoot.
Cool.
Yeah, beyond that, like I'm at OKPayMitch on Instagram. It's my last name backwards. I'm not all about money.
Oh my gosh. I had no idea that's what that was.
Oh my god, it's hilarious. Yeah, because I'm a producer. It's like that's a weird thing that I did, but yeah, that's my last name backwards. So
I never looked down on it. I think I thought it had something to do with compensation. That's awesome.
Hilarious. That's hilarious.
I love you even more now, Mitch. That's great.
Thanks, Ashley. Thank you. So that's what I'm working on.
Yeah.
What about you, Ashley?
I just finished producing a short film called As Easy as Closing Your Eyes, and it's really cool. I'm really excited about it. We had 2 incredible lead actors, and we just finished last week, so it's fresh. And then Mitch and I have, you say it, the title.
It's called Un Homme and a Lady.
This is the French New Wave film. And so that one's, it's going to be something special. I think it's shot and edited beautifully. The direction was beautiful. My lead actor, James Kyson, incredible. And then my Instagram is @aolds, my last name, Olds, spelled not backwards.
What about you, Alan?
You can find me at Alan Rickert, ALLENRUECKERT. It's not easy to find. On TikTok, you'll actually be able to see I think the last thing I made was a Christmas trailer for a prequel for Marley from Home Alone, who is a killer because he was the strangler. Don't worry about it. Just take a look at it. But other than that, I edited the Un Homme and a Lady, the French New Wave film, and I was not too long ago in this short film called Survived by a filmmaker called Katie Chalk. I don't know when it's coming out, but the script was pretty incredible, so I'm kind of excited to see that one. So, yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Awesome. Well, yeah, thanks for joining me for a few minutes today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris. It was so fun.
I'll eventually get it up there. I don't know. My time is just crazy. As I was telling Mitch, like I work like 8 jobs. So. And I have jury duty this week. They got me on jury duty.
Oh no. Get out of that.
Trying. Every time I'm like, I gotta work. I actually got like a gig in another state in like next 2 weeks before school starts. So after Brightside. So I'm like, I can't be a jury. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I already got a plane. Yeah. I'm just gonna tell them I'm going to film festival. I'm the only guy. I gotta be there. There's one other guy.
Oh, I hope you get out of it. Good luck on that.
Yeah, best of luck.
Best of luck.
Like that's my luck, right? Because they got me in the summer. That I get away with it during the year because I'm a teacher. So I always say I'm teaching. I can't. So they got me now. They're like, you don't do anything in the summer. I'm like, yes, I do.
See if you can push it to Christmas week. If you can push it to Christmas week, you usually will not get called in. I have found
that's what I hear. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Pro tip.
That is a good idea. I should do that. Wow. But yeah, so I have that. I work at a brewery, so that's where I'm headed right now. So
amazing.
It doesn't end. I hope I have enough time to get this festival together.
It'll come together. It'll come
together.
Yeah. It's pretty easy by now. I've been doing it so long. I don't even like advertise it anymore, or push it that often. Just sells itself. Just
there you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's a party.
Well, thanks for joining me today, and I'll get this up on our Facebook, our YouTube, and our website.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
And thanks everyone for watching. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. See it.
Bye. See ya.
All right. Bye, guys.
See it.